What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And you've probably already seen it in the thumbnail and you know by the title what it is. But it is insane. We have a chassis. We have a nice chassis. We have the chassis I originally wanted. Didn't think I was going to be able to get my hands on. And it literally fell into my hands. Like it did. It fell into my hands. It's not super perfect, but it's close freaking enough for me. And in the next video, I will tell the story how we got this car, because it's insane. The whole story is just insane. I'll show pictures of the car we was originally going to buy, and then this one came along. So I'll tell you at the end of the video, it may already be in the title, what I paid for this car, but it's you need to see it. So let's take a look at it. So here's the car. We have a 1974 Chevy Nova, and it's not perfect, but by golly, it's close enough. We looked at so many cars, and they were just completely just gone with rust. And this one has some issues in some places, but nothing like the other cars. Anyway, this car literally fell into our hands. If you won't, I would really ask you watch the next video. I'm gonna tell you the story how we got this car. Literally everything went to where this should have went to somebody else, but it literally fell into our hands, and we are super excited to have it. It came with brand new drag slicks. In the trunk is the turbo 350 transmission it came with. It's already got a fuel cell in it. I don't think the fuel cell works, but it's there. I think it's like a 20 gallon. This car has full interior. Now the floor pans are cut out right now, so the interior is not actually bolted in, but it had full interior. As you can see, here's one of the newer floor pans. It's not actually in there, it's just sitting in there. Getting this home was not the easiest thing to do. You'll hear about that if you watch the next video, because it was really crazy how we got this thing home. It is, well, I don't know if it was ever powered by this, but it came with a Chevy 350. It's a truck motor. I know that it has the dual port throttle body injection on it. Chevy's half attempt, I would say, at fuel injection. Oh, don't want to lose my hood. But anyway, I think it was just Chevy's way of trying to get fuel injection out there, and just to say they have it. It wasn't a very good attempt. I've had a truck with it, and they're just really bad on gas. The only issue that I really found with the car, and he didn't tell me, I've seen it and started measuring, and then he kind of opened up about it, and it kind of worried me. I drove 3.5 hours to get this car, so you know, you don't want to get down there and find out you drove all the way there for no reason, which is something I was scared of happening. This piece of frame is bent. This one right here is bent in that way about 1 inch, but everything from here back is perfect. It's perfectly measuring up with the other side. That's when he let me know that he didn't have the radiator support because it was bent. And a little nervous about that, but we did some negotiating. I'm really kind of glad I found that, and it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Gave me some negotiating room, which he said he was open to negotiation, excuse me, before I got down there. But with what he was already asking for the car, I really didn't know if there was any reason to negotiate. The other issue with the car, there is some rust damage on this bottom part of the door. And as you can see, this rocker right here has hit something. We're probably going to cut that out and replace it. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Once I paint it black, you'll really be able to tell that. Maybe. I may replace it. I may not. I don't know. But as you can see, the rest of the car coming up really clean, man. I'm in a hurry to get this thing in the shop. I want to keep as much water off of it as possible. Another thing, whoever originally painted, he said he didn't do it, but I don't know who did it. They didn't tape off any of the trim, so it's primer. So you can see the overspray there. This is what the trim's supposed to look like. Looks like somebody's already started peeling that off because it looks like it was oversprayed as well. But we'll get all that cleaned up. It is really insane how good a shape this car is in for what I gave for it. I've seen cars nowhere near this shape, but they're asking way more for it. Here is that floor pan's gone. The front end was on it. I'll post some pictures up right now of what it looked like in the ad when I looked at it originally. The front end was on the car. They pulled it off to make it easier to pull that 350 and the turbo 350 transmission out of it. Those were in the car. I don't believe they've ever ran in the car, being that throttle body injections on it, unless they had the original owner had a carburetor on it and just put that on it to get it out of the way, because it doesn't have a distributor either anymore. So they have removed some things. So it may have ran in this car. I don't know. I do believe the Turbo 350 is original to the car. I'm going to sell both of them as a set for $1,100. The Turbo 350, the fluid, everything looks good in it. It looks like it, for all reasons, should be a good transmission. Even if they're not, they're dirt cheap to rebuild. So, but now here are the fenders. This fender right here is a doo-doo fender. It's got some rust. There's the bottom of the back seat. And in that box is the floor pan to the driver's side. So this one right here does have some rust issues, which is at the bottom. But this being an original fender to the car, and me actually getting to see how little rust issues it has, makes me feel a lot better about the rest of the car. But he gave me this fender to replace that fender, and it doesn't seem to have any rust issues. And here's the other original fender to the car. And as you see, like it's a little rusty, but it's not that bad, and that's really crazy. So it makes me feel pretty good about the car. Anytime you buy something older like this, you're gonna have to deal with rust in some way, shape, or form. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how much. So if I do find a little bit of rust here and there, it'll be all right. You know, as long as we don't find just complete rot, which I looked it over really good. I didn't see any issues that I was gonna have to deal with full rot. I can't wait to actually get it in the shop. That way we can keep water off of it. It still needs some body work on the roof, as you see. So definitely got some, it might not be Bondo, but we're gonna get in the shop, get everything sanded down, do some light body work on it. I was gonna originally paint this thing metallic candy apple red, and at some point I still may. But for right now, I think I'm just gonna paint it super gloss black, like a jet black, but gloss jet black. And I think that'll look pretty good. Got to get one of these engines ready to go in it. This one's gonna go up on the stand first, just because it's got water in it. I want to see how bad it is. And hopefully whatever's going on with it, we find out is not as bad as it could be. Really don't know. But if either way, we're probably gonna get the thing down to a bare block, send it off to the machine shop. Get this one up on the stand, get everything cleaned up, get the block painted real nice, get new lifters in it, a BTR or Texas Speed camshaft, get a BTR intake manifold on it. You know, get it where she'll boogie pretty hard in that car. I would like to put at least starting out around 500, 600 horsepower in it. And then we can talk about turbo later and get this turbo 400 in it. That's one thing I really like about those cars. They're native to accepting these transmissions, so putting it in there shouldn't be a big deal at all. Putting this in there, don't really know 100%. They fit really well in the cars. We may have some things we need to get. I know we need to get the Dirty Dingo engine mounts. But yeah, so in the next video, we're going to get the shop, get the toolbox. I'll talk about that and all the tools I got. I got a massive amount of tools. We'll get the shop cleaned up, get a lot of the stuff that I don't need thrown away, where we can really work in the shop. I need to get both engines back there. Once again, that one needs to at least get on the stand, and we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. We're super excited to have this car. I hope you guys are super excited to see it on the channel. If you are, guys, make sure you hit the like button. There's a subscribe button down there. Don't know where it is. You're watching the video, not me. You need to smack that button. This is going to be a pretty crazy build. I'm super excited about it. Man, I'm really glad to have this. But I told you at the very end of the video, I tell you what I paid for this car. The guy wanted $3,900. And at the very end, when we were able to negotiate, so I made sure before I got down there, that's what he wanted. I didn't get down there and it'd be like $39,000, which is thinking worth $39,000. But he said yes, $3,900, but he was willing to negotiate. And he should have never told me that. That was a huge boo-boo. I got this car $3,400 for everything. Even got brand new tires on the front. The weld drag slicks or drag wheels are brand new. The center caps for them are in the back. So did really good. Just a real quick overview real quick of the dash. I don't know if I showed y'all. It's got the original GM key sitting right there in the ignition. Anyways, guys, that's what I paid for it. Make sure you watch the next video. Hear the crazy story how we wound up with it, going and getting everything. And other than that, guys, we will catch you on the next one.